Hey everyone, welcome back to TOFR Drives, where today you join me on the roof of a parking structure in Ann Arbor, Michigan with one of my all-time favorite cars, and certainly one of my favorite cars on sale today. That is, of course, the 2024 Lexus LC 500 Convertible. Probably the 6th or 7th one of these I've driven at this point, and every time I drive one, I like it even more. And I suspect I will like this one the best out of all of them because they fixed the only thing that this car needed, in my opinion. They trashed the ancient, hard-to-use, borderline dangerous infotainment system for a brand new 12.3-inch touchscreen. So gone are the days of having to use that silly touchpad and having to have a passenger to turn on your heated seats and all of the stuff that us YouTubers and journalists like to be dramatic about with this LC. But the thing was, other than the infotainment, this car was just about perfect, which means that now it should be absolutely perfect. And that's what we're going to find out today on our little Living With the Lexus LC 500. We'll start here in the city, we'll jump on the highway, we'll see what it's like to live with this LC in a day-to-day basis, and man, I am so excited because every mile behind the wheel of one of these is always fantastic, and I always really enjoy myself. Now, the only real difference is that 12.3-inch updated infotainment, but they have given this some other stuff visually that sets it aside from the outgoing model years, one of which is this new copper Crest exterior color. We've seen this on some other Lexus models, the RX 500H, some of the other cars that we have driven, and you'll see when we put the top down, this interior is outrageous, white and blue with a copper Crest exterior. That is all part of the Bespoke trim level, which this car, of course, is. All of the Bespoke cars come standard with a limited slip differential, the adaptive rear damper, and also you get a little plaque inside that says Bespoke build. Oh, and you get a certificate of authenticity signed by the chief engineer of the LC. So I think I would do it just for that. You could frame that in your house or in your garage above where you park your car, whatever. But anyways, we'll make this walk around quick because you guys already pretty much know about this car. Little button here on the taillight to open the trunk. Thank you to the train in the background for that ambient noise. We have to drop off a package today, so I have that here in the trunk. But otherwise, I mean, the convertible, you don't really get a ton of room, and it looks like somebody has robbed our toolkit out of here. What the heck? The LC 500 is meant for you and your spouse wearing a sun hat, just going on a nice leisure drive. But let's show you my favorite part of the LC 500, and that is what is under the bonnet up here in front. These days, pretty much everything has twin turbos or a mild hybrid system, or in some cases, they are supercharged, but the LC 500 is not. This is powered by a 5-liter naturally aspirated V8. 471 horsepower, 398 pound-feet of torque. Power is sent to the rear wheels through a limited slip diff via a 10-speed automatic transmission, and that always kind of throws me off because I am not the biggest fan of 10-speed autos. I've never found another one that I like, but for some reason in this car it feels just about perfect. Every driving input dynamic, everything about this car, driving it feels just perfect to me, and I haven't found another Grand Touring coupe or convertible that tops this, so this should just validate that today. 5W30 oil, pretty standard looking engine bay. I don't care what it looks like, I just want to drive it. Don't know that I would go for copper Crest, but I appreciate it on this spec because I don't have to own it. I can live with it, enjoy it for a week, and then give it back. Inside, absolutely stunning blue and white spec on this thing. I mean, man, imagine pairing this outside with another shade of blue or a gray or something. I think that would be just classy as you can get with an LC. Let's go ahead and just jump in this thing. We'll fire it up, we'll put the roof down, and we will start driving because I cannot wait. Start up the LC. Standard start-stop button here to the right of the steering wheel. You can see there our brand new infotainment screen. When you hit this button on this car, all of your problems go away. You're reminded that you're in one of the best V8 Grand Tourers in the world. All right, let's shut this door. Let's put the roof down, which upon first investigations, you would not actually know where that is, but it's because Lexus hides it under this little door, which I like. This operation happens in what Lexus claims 15 seconds for the roof to go down, 16 seconds for the roof to come back up, but you are able to do this at speeds of up to 31 miles per hour, which is excellent. They all come with these wind deflectors in the trunk. They pop in nicely. They've got 4 little mounting spots in the back, easy to install by yourself, and that's great because you no longer need the passenger to work the infotainment. So you can now enjoy this car by yourself. You don't have to take somebody with you. Inside, this is now just up to date with all the other Lexus infotainment, this Google-based system that works quite well. Center console right here with a couple of different storage cubbies. You've got a little one there, bigger one behind it. That slides, soft closes nicely. Heated seat controls are now right here. They are now a physical touch to bring the menu up, and yes, the controls themselves are still in the infotainment, but you don't have to find them in the infotainment. It's just right here, and that pulls up the screen. Physical button for our camera view, of course. We have our volume knob here, front and center. We also have volume controls on the steering wheel. We have a physical climate control panel in here still, and here is this little plaque I told you about earlier, Lexus LC Bespoke build. I'm disappointed in myself because I have only driven this car 53 miles this week. I've had it for 3 days. I've only gone 53 miles, but somehow over those 53 miles, I have burned over a quarter of a tank. Quickly, let's touch on price, and then we'll jump on the road. The LC500 convertible starts at $105 grand. Bespoke build adds $5,500 to that. This car as spec is $117,000. In my opinion, still a bargain for what you actually get in this car, and the fact that there is truly nothing else on the market right now that compares to this, to me. I think that if you're going to spend $100,000 and you want a plush, comfortable Grand Tourer, this is the car. End of story. Let's put on our blue seatbelt here. Into reverse, you can see our quite nice 360 camera, though it does show a coupe on there and not a convertible, but we'll gloss over that for now. Rear view camera is quite clear, and this does actually have the camera that learns as you drive, so it becomes a transparent 360 camera as you move back and forth. Front and rear cameras learn that as you drive. Always like to see that. Lots of good camera views on this. Even just at low speeds, you get the sense that years, decades, millions of dollars in development have gone into making this V8, 10-speed, everything just be the silkiest and most buttery experience out of any other car in this class. Obviously, when you rev this thing out, it makes a bit more of a racket. And we do have an active exhaust that opens up based on engine speed. So based on how much throttle you're giving it, how many RPMs the car is revved at, that exhaust will open up its little flap and sing the song of its people. Despite this being a 10-speed, it does still have pretty long gears, so we're actually just going to leave this in normal mode until we get out of this structure here. But we can quickly touch on maneuverability. If you are a businessman or a dentist or something, you're parking in a parking structure on the daily, this car is going to be no problem with you maneuvering it. It is honestly quite a hefty machine. It's pretty big. And it feels decently hefty while you're driving it as well. The steering feel, while it is light, it still has feel. You still feel the front end of this car. You know, you're not just feeling like you're in a Rolls Royce and, you know, doing pinky steering. You can still feel where the front end of the car is for the most part, which makes it easier to place, which is nice for a car that you can't really see over the hood. And this is just a very traditional, as I would say, V8 motor. It doesn't have a flat, plain crank or really anything fancy going on. It's just a true, honest 5-liter V8. See if we're at a good height to insert our ticket here. Ooh, we are. Have to reach up just a little bit. You are so welcome. I'll see you soon. We're going to put all 4 of our windows up, and you can do that with this switch that is also hidden under the panel next to your convertible top switch. I'm surprised that this car is not getting more attention from bystanders. Nobody really looks at it. Maybe it's because they think somebody from the mafia is driving it. Okay, we're going to bump this into manual and Sport Plus because I want to try and make this V8 sing just a little bit, bounce the sound off some buildings. Around town, throttle response is very progressive, easy to modulate this, not break your neck when you take off or anything with this close to 500 horsepower, even when you're in Sport Plus mode. You can still enjoy this car at low speeds. You can enjoy the noise of it. It makes a good noise no matter what RPM you're at. I am just so obsessed with this car. I need one of these in my life. There's no fake drama from this V8, no pops or burbles, snorts, anything like that, and for once in my life, I'm gonna say, that's okay. I don't really think it would fit the character of the LC 500. Overall, city driving impressions on the LC 500, steering weight, nice, placeability. Thank you so much. Yep. Fellow Lexus. Oh, you're gonna make this tight for me, other fellow Lexus. It's okay, we'll squeeze through. It is so hard for me to hold back when I'm in a 45-mile-an-hour zone with this car. I just want to hear it sing. But let's wrap up our city driving impressions here as we exit the aforementioned city of Ann Arbor. This car definitely does not feel out of place in a city. Would I necessarily want to drive it around every day in a city setting? Probably not, because for one, it's going to get like 6 mpg, but I mean, you could do it if you want. Visibility is not the best with the front of the car. Like I said, the steering helps with that because it is light, but you can still feel you're able to kind of place this thing. But I think after a little bit, it would get tiresome driving this around a city center. Where you're really gonna enjoy this car is out on an open road, or even just a bit of a larger road like this one. But you can definitely still do it, don't get me wrong. Also, can we talk about how I don't have to shout at you guys and I'm going 45 miles an hour with the roof down? It's pretty much silent in here. There's no wind buffeting. And this wind deflector that I have installed in here right now does make a lot of difference. I drove around a bit yesterday with the wind deflector out, and while it is still quiet, it is definitely noticeably blusterier in here. Is that a word? Blusterier. The blips on downshifts, they make me feel a certain type of way that you don't feel often with cars of this nature. I do oftentimes find myself driving this in Sport Plus mode, but you really don't need to. I mean, here, I'll show you. I'll put this back into drive. I'm gonna put it back into normal mode, and we'll take off from this light, and it'll still make a racket. It'll snap off gears and everything still. To be honest, the drive modes don't really change all that much, which in some ways is good, some ways may be bad. No matter what mode you're in, you're gonna enjoy the drive in this car. That's normal mode. Doesn't change too much. You do look a bit silly though going from light to light. I've been next to this white Durango for like the entire length of the drive. He probably just thinks I'm a maniac taking off from every light. Why is the man with a camera on his face driving like that? I just want to hear V8 motor. There's a beautiful smoothness to the throttle response paired with the tuning of this 10-speed when you are in normal mode. It's like a ballet. It's just smooth, it's in uniform. You get the sense that this car will never make any mistakes, because that would be sacrilege to the Lexus name, and this car takes it very seriously. It's built in Japan. I'm sure billions of dollars were spent developing it for it to be just as close to perfect as possible, and it is. They've succeeded with that perfect goal. Love the noises it makes when it shifts too. Pa-pa! It's like a gated shifter going into gear, except you hear it out of the exhaust. In a traffic setting like this, brake pedal tuning, very progressive. You don't have to bury your foot into this brake pedal, but you pick up kind of the natural feel of it very quickly. Ride quality even on these 21-inch wheels, going over some of those pretty large potholes like you guys saw back there, no problem whatsoever. And say you suddenly decide that you need a sweet tea from McDonald's, the LC500 should be able to handle that for you as well. Here we go, up the driveway, no problem. Weirdly enough, I'm being reminded I have actually been to this exact McDonald's before with another LC500. He's back, this time with blue interior and some gold paint. Open up our camera here, you can see I've got plenty of room from the vehicle to the curb. A little bit hard to see out of it and place the rear because the haunches, they do stick out a bit further than the front. Ooh, strawberry banana smoothie? Maybe I should have that. Got a cup holder right here I'll be able to utilize, but I think that's the only place you have in here to put a drink. Hello, can I please just do a medium strawberry banana smoothie?
Yeah. Anything else?
That's it. Great, thank you so much. Maneuver this thing around here. Honestly, usually I'm just, I put these up just to be dramatic, but today I'm actually using it.
And I like the color of your car.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, you too. All right, let's use our little cup holder up there. There we go. That is quite good. I don't think I've ever gotten a smoothie from McDonald's before. Sometimes you just need something to take the edge off on the way home from work. And if your LC500 isn't enough, then you can get a smoothie, I suppose. Oh. The sound of the V8 paired with the sweetness of the strawberry. It's making my evening much better than it was already going. And we got a compliment on the color of the car. I'm just willing things into existence today. I'm feeling like this is just very true to this car right now. Smoothie, roof down. Not a care in the world. I should have spray painted my hair white or something. Now, okay, jokes aside, where this car really becomes impressively serene is when you jump onto the highway, reach speeds of 70 miles an hour, and realize that you can still hold a conversation in here without really having to raise your voice too much. And we're just going to enter into traffic right here, obviously, because it's 5 o'clock. Oh, actually, it looks like cars are moving a bit. Okay, we're in for a treat today. The other side is stopped, but we are not. There you go, 50 miles an hour. Don't have to raise my voice. Oh, I can play the song of my people. Here we go. And there you go. I don't even have to yell. Nubs, nubs. I wonder what he means by nubs. But I mean, talk about a serene experience here in this thing. There's no wind going through my hair, which if you want to listen to some Lana Del Rey and actually have the wind go through your hair, you could stick the windows down, you could take the wind deflector out, but if you're just commuting back from the office, this is the stuff. This is what you want. This is how you want your convertible to perform. Reaction there, merging, downshift from the 10-speed. I mean, it takes this thing hardly any time to react, even in normal mode. It'll get those downshifts done for you. Let's go into sport and manual. The soulful bellow of this car. Genuinely unmatched. I love that they put the drive mode selector and the traction off switch and all of those controls up by the gauge cluster like the LFA, which is my all-time dream car. If somebody said you could have any car ever made, but you have to keep it for your whole life, what would you have? I think I'd go with an LFA. Alrighty, let's talk about the important stuff. Comfort while you are cruising on the highway. Well, the driving position is just fantastic. You can get the seat down really low, get yourself nice and cozy in this car in general, but to be more specific, the seat really holds you in nicely. On the coupes, you can get Alcantara inserts on these seats. Unfortunately, in the convertible, they are leather only. You have a decent amount of adjustability on these seats. You do have lumbar that comes, oh wow, quite a ways out. If you've got a bad back, plenty of support for you there. Elbow comfort is pretty nice as well. More so supportive. These aren't the squishiest surfaces for your elbows, but the actual placing of the door panel and the center console make it so you can very comfortably drive this car, both hands on the wheel in a resting position. Okay, we're gonna run and ship this package real quick. I think the best way I can think to describe the steering feel on this car, which is brilliant, I know I've said it a couple of times, but you guys know when you go on TikTok and you see those videos of that guy and he has that taffy and he throws the taffy on that hook and he stretches it every time and you get the feeling that you have just like that nice smooth pull. That's what the steering in this car feels like. Pulling taffy. Some of you who have pulled taffy, which is probably less than 1% of you watching this video, you'll know exactly what I'm on about. But all of the rest of you probably have seen the videos, so there you go. One more time up into sport, into manual. Well, one more time before we ship a package, rather. It's amazing how quick they make this 10-speed shift, because the 8-speed that they put in a lot of their other cars does not shift this quick. That's the noise. That's the noise right there. If I had one of these, intoxicating rev limiter, and it would probably eventually land me in jail, which is why it's good I'm limited to only a few days in these cars. Oh, we are gonna have to put this somewhere safe. in the back. Can check our cameras here to see how we did. Looks like just about perfect. Put this thing into park. Parking brake will automatically apply, but if you want to manually apply it or disengage it, it's a little switch below your start-stop button. Stick our roof up here. This will take 16 seconds. The very careful art of this happening. Nothing slams, nothing is sudden. Click our hidden trunk switch. Grab this package out of here. We do have a handle in there to shut the trunk. We will click lock on our key fob. Door handles will go in. Cool. All right. Walking up to the car. I thought these door handles used to just pop out, but now I feel like I have to prompt it to give me the door handle. That could be a setting that you can adjust in the infotainment. Stick our roof back down. I'm not interested in driving this car with the roof up, so if you want to leave a comment and tell me that, oh, you should have done a portion of the review with the roof up, well, plenty of other videos on this car that will show you that, so you can go and find one of those. Couldn't really be bothered, to be honest. We'll do a bit of driving with the windows down, give you guys a taste of that. Windows down, wind deflector up. Crazy how much those windows make a difference too. And now comes the best part of the day. You can finally let loose, go out in the LC500 and go for a proper spirited drive. The best part of any day, the best part of any ownership experience with a car like this. I find myself just playing this thing like an instrument. You've got so many gears, you may as well. Up ahead we have the LC500's best friend. A bridge or a tunnel, whatever you want to look at this as. I am such a child. Now, I'm not going to lie for a second and say that this is the fastest, best handling, sharpest Grand Touring sports car on the market, but that's not the point of this car. I simply like existing with it, and I think it's a combination of, yes, of course, the sound it makes, but all of the very satisfying inputs and just the pureness of it. You don't have a ton of nannies in here. You don't have a million different configurable modes and 1,000 different settings for the suspension, and you can't tell it how fast you want it to change gear, and there aren't 6 different settings for the exhaust. It's just an honest V8 drop-top grand touring sports car. It's a Lexus. It'll go forever. It'll probably hold its value decently well. And overall, I mean, this car's been out since 2020, so this is now, what, the 5th model year for it. I have never driven another car that has stuck with me like this one has, as far as a value proposition, as far as actually wanting to own this car. Cars like this speak to me, something that I can go out, have a blast, hoon a little bit, make some noise, have fun, but then shut it all down, be quiet, be comfy, have a really good banging Mark Levinson sound system, which actually maybe we'll test that real quick before we end the video. Yeah, why don't we do that? Just stop here for a second, we'll get a song on. But what I'm trying to say is, Lexus has made an absolute masterpiece here. It's even better for 2024 because you have an actual infotainment that you can use, and this thing is seriously fantastic. So let's get a song going and we'll finish out the drive. I want to say, actually, before we set off, this Mark Levinson has 2 different modes as far as tuning goes that automatically figure themselves out whether you have the roof up or the roof down. So the sound system is going to sound a little bit different with the top down, but that is because it has been tuned to optimize that quality here for you. Alright guys, well, I think on that note, we'll go ahead and wrap this up. As you can see, one of, if not the most livable grand touring convertibles that there are out there. It makes the best noise, it looks the business. It's a little pricey at $117,000, but you are able to pick up used examples of LC 500s in the 60s to 70s for convertibles. You're probably still looking high 70s, low 80s, something like that for the cheapest ones. But to me, to have a car like this, it's a little bit more excusable because this thing will last. It'll stay around. It's a Lexus. This is kind of like a lifetime car. These cars tend to outlive their owners for, you know, multiple reasons. But anyways, what I'm trying to say is they fixed the one thing that this car needed, and I still absolutely love this thing all these years later through all of the different cars that I've driven. I drove an LC500 super early on to my journey here with the TheTopher Daily Motor Winding Road, all of this YouTube stuff. I drove an LC500 in like 2020 or something like that. And through all of these years, through the hundreds of cars I have driven, it has stuck out to me as one of the best cars I've ever driven, and probably the most desirable car out of all if I were to pick one to own. It's comfortable. The ride is fantastic. The transmission tuning is great. The throttle and brake tuning are fantastic. The steering is like taffy. That weird analogy I made earlier, I know, but what I'm trying to say is this car is just about as perfect as it gets for me, and I know that will vary from person to person, but read any review on this from a person who actually knows cars, a person who actually cares more than just what it says on the spec sheet. They'll tell you. I'll tell you, and hopefully you were able to see it from this video today. So let's take a look at this thing one last time. I guess I didn't show it to you with the roof down earlier, so my apologies, but here it is with the roof down. This is kind of one of those rare cases where the convertible aspect doesn't really take away from the overall design language of this car. I think they've been able to preserve a lot of that beautiful design. These kind of like buttresses here on the back that go up into help creating our very quiet environment inside. But anyways, you guys know how I feel about this car. I'm happy that I finally got to take you all out on the road in one of these. We haven't had one in a couple of years, but it's just as great as I remember. And mark my words, I will have one of these one day. I'm not going to be the YouTuber that has a Ferrari or a Lamborghini, but I will be the YouTuber that has a 8-year-old, heavily depreciated, 100,000 mile Lexus LC 500. So I look forward to that day, but I had a great day today, and I hope you all enjoyed this as well. Any questions you have about the LC, leave them down below in the comments, but that's going to wrap it up for us. Thank you all so much for hanging out if you've made it this far, and I will see you in the next one. Take care.